Welcome to News Game Plus. We're back. We got grounded again last week by Dictator Dan.
So we got the first week. I think your son was still unwell. How is he better now?
No, actually. He's already going for scans and everything. I'm taking him on Wednesday to see a sports person because the way he dislocated his knee is a bad one.
Yeah, right.
And because he's only 14, so
he's not playing for Hawthorn.
So look, it's better. The swelling's gone down, but there is a problem there that we just got to make sure it's done. Which is
better to do it when they're young. Like get it done.
Well, I don't want him having to get a new knee in a few years' time.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
But it's just something really innocuous.
And so then we went into COVID.
Oh yeah, sorry, yeah.
And then we went to COVID.
So we got lockdown. Yeah, lockdown because we had the UK variant of COVID.
And then we got Thanos snapped. And then we removed from Facebook existence.
Yeah, it's been quite. I mean, 2021 is throwing a few things up. It's still got a bit to go to compete with 2020. 2020 was the best in the series so far.
Yeah, hopefully it doesn't end gamers and it's not that bad. But definitely 2020 was the what was the other one? Infinity War.
Oh yeah,
the best of the bad bunch.
I still hate. In games so much. I saw
ruins any build.
I saw a tweet the other day by Simon Pegg and he was crying and he was watching Endgame again. He's like, I'm watching Endgame when everyone comes to all the golden rings and I'm going, dude, that's like the lamest thing I've ever seen.
Was that Simon Pegg who said that?
Yeah.
What a surprise that Simon Pegg's a gronk.
Was he paid to say that? Anyway, is it?
I told you, it's still my worst interview I've ever had.
Simon Pegg.
Of all the interviews I've had for New Game Plus and Level 3, he was the most combative.
Serious?
Story time, right?
With stories on this podcast. When did that start?
We went to a thing for, I want to say it was World's End. So we went for the last of the Cornetto trilogy, right?
What the hell's the Cornetto trilogy?
The Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, World's End is the Cornetto trilogy.
Cornetto trilogy. Oh, okay.
Yeah. They all did Cornetto.
Just an ice
he had a Cornetto in every single one of them.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, that's the meme. Okay. So the Cornetto trilogy, right? So we're interviewing him. He's doing all these like show pony, Rich Wilkins and stuff like that. So he gets down and slumming it with us. We get him for a minute, right?
Yep.
I'm like, cool. So we're talking stuff and nonsense, blah, blah, blah. And, and I asked a pretty innocuous question. I wasn't trying to get internet fuel. I just said to him, like, you've done the Hollywood thing. You've had great success in Hollywood. How does it feel to be working back with Edgar and Nick again? The familiar old crew. He took super offense to it. I wasn't saying that you were selling out. Which is all I wanted was, it's great to be working back with a guy. I fucking lowballed it in there. I softballed it in there, sorry. I didn't chapel him, I proper just pitched it in, right? Don't even start on Ant-Man. Because, Ant-Man, you can see the parts that were Edgar Wright because they're the good bits. Anyway.
I know you hate Ant-Man.
Quick Ant-Man review. When Michael Douglas is on screen or it's a stupid ant bit where he's mucking around with the ants, it's great. Otherwise, it's shit out. Because Paul Rudd sucks.
We're back from your ADHD.
So I'm just like, is this guy for real? Because he's like, he goes, I'm like, it's like, I said, so like, it's like, working with people that must feel great. It's like, it's like being home, having a kiss from your mum. So it's like a big, wet, sloppy kiss from your mum is what you're saying. I thought, fuck you at this point, like, if I'm going to take it out with me, right?
Yeah.
I said, it's a big, wet, sloppy kiss from your mum. That's the description for Nick Frost. And he goes, yeah, that's what it is. It was just it was the most combative.
Really?
Yeah.
I haven't seen that one.
Yeah. And then as he's leaving,
I've got to find that on.
No, it's level 3, so it's the old.
Level 3. Never
and so the last thing that happens is like,
I just watched level 3 for the hot chick.
Yeah. Did we all? And then as you're leaving, he goes, good luck with the rest of the tour with the Foo Fighters. I said, good luck with the rest of your career in Hollywood. And just a scowl. And we were meant to get Nick Frost next, and then they dragged him away. That was how pissed off Simon Pegg was. We didn't even get to interview Nick Frost.
Oh boy.
So Simon Pegg might be funny, and he's been in some funny things for sure. Wanker. Massive fucking wanker.
Never met your hero. Not his hero, but
I met Billy West, and Billy West was lovely, and I let him.
Okay, I'm gonna. Billy West was your best interview, wasn't it?
Yeah. My favourite interview at the very least. I don't know if it was my best because I tried to not fanboy it, and
you fanboyed it.
His manager will never let me near him again because
that's because you took your pants off during the interview.
The manager specifically said, "Do not bring up Hollywood voice actors doing cartoon roles or for audio roles because we don't because Billy likes to talk about that and all." Okay. So the second I had a chance, the first thing I said was, so with all these different roles, obviously you're so well known. We have a lot of different new media coming in and new roles roles coming in. How do you feel about the Hollywood actors appearing in things? This was just after Danny Glover fucked up. It was some kind of game he was in. He just couldn't be bothered. It was the worst performance. Yeah. Anyway, and he just went in on it. He just went fucking straight in on it. I'm like, beautiful, Billy. Tell us what you really. I just see the manager in the background shaking his head and like. Afterwards, I'm like, I hope that wasn't too far.
You were pretty excited in that interview.
And so it was just, for me, it was that was my favourite interview. So there you go. There's the two stories of New Game Plus of old Simon Pegg's a wanker.
Billy West is awesome.
The one thing I did hear, funnily enough,
Bruce Boxleitner one.
Bruce, he was a gentleman, a scholar. Again, my favourite person to interview is Charles Martinet. Because every time he sees us at a convention, he'll be like, "Oh, hey, it's you guys!" And because we stole him at EB Expo that year.
Yeah, that was actually when I first met you.
Yeah, and then we stole him and took him to the bar.
I turned up there as well, so it was me and Charles Martin. Crashed your thing. Just
want
to point that out. It was the two of us.
And I told you about the bit where we're in the ice cream parlour on the Sunday. Yeah. Like, what are you up to? He's like, "I'll come get some ice cream with you." Like, yeah, all right. And I'm like, "What do you want?" He's like, "Nah, I'm too old for ice cream." And he's sitting there, and he just because he kept calling us socialist commie bastards the whole time. So I was hang on. So if you hurt, because we're talking about hurting yourself, he says, if you hurt yourself, you can go to the doctor and it doesn't cost you. He said, well, you might have to pay for parking or something, but nah. He's like, you socialist commie bastards. Like, and so one of the things we were doing is we were ordering ice cream and he was just being excitable, and he went Yahoo! And every kid in the room just stops and pivots and looks. Because they heard Mario. And they're like, where? And you just see change voice, back to normal voice. Yeah. And it was like, so just watching everyone do that. And again, that day with Bruce Boxleitner, it was great. And he, again, like, when people talk like consummate professionals, he was affable without being too familiar. It was perfect, right? But then Charles Martinet says across the room, and he goes, "Oh, hey, it's you guys." And so he's like talking. He's like, "I've got my next interview for half an hour." I'm like, "Yeah, we'll talk to you for a while." He's like, "Oh, do you want me to do some like voice throws?" He's like, "We're like, sure." And so he did like full Luigi, Mario, like Yahoo!
He's
like
funny.
The whole show, and he just did Pasternax. He did the whole fucking repertoire for shits and giggles because we were bored waiting there. And I'm sure we've still got him recorded somewhere. Anyway,
somewhere on hard drive. He's a champion.
But I did hear that Kevin Rudd was a very difficult interview subject for some people. Like he was for the AV people behind the scenes, and I'm like. I find that interesting, but also the person who told me is a fucking idiot. So I'm happy to assume that it's just because they're a fucking idiot. So yeah.
Could be.
Anyway, sorry, video game news. I think that's
by the way, if anybody's interested in those, except for the Simon Pegg one, they're actually on a YouTube channel.
Yes.
YouTube.com/New Game Plus TV. We still on that?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. We got Thanos snapped on Facebook, but we're still live on YouTube. I'm really certain.
Yeah, Google sold out. Go to the New Game Plus TV YouTube channel. Because the interviews are there. I made a special interview playlist. I'm going to put him on. That's why I hadn't seen the Simon Pegg one. But if he was level 31, that's obviously way before my time.
That's okay.
Level 3. What was it?
Not level 31. That's all right.
Or was that? I'm thinking of Dirk Diggler, the place he went to.
Anyway,
there are some tie-ins.
Yeah.
So, anyway, let's do some gaming news because it's only been 6 minutes. And,
it's 8 technically, but that's all right.
And we haven't even risked talking politics yet, so we're off to a good. Let's stick to the games.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool. All right. First one, the Xbox Series X. And as I said, Microsoft are doing a really good job with the backward compatibility.
Agreed.
They have from the start.
They're capitalising on the current lull to say, well, if you're waiting for all the games that we've got coming out to come out, these games that you may have had previously are going to be suddenly upgraded to as good a quality as we can output them on the thing.
What the newest one they've done is they've upped on the Series X. I don't know about the Series S, but that's less hardware. But the Series X, they've upped the frames per second in some games, including Far Cry 4 and Watch Dogs 2. If you're playing them in backward compatibility
they definitely get
mode, then they will be faster.
Because that was noticeable, because I started Watch Dogs on my Series S, and then... on my 1S, and then my Series X came... the Series X came within a week of me still playing it, and it was one of those things like, yeah, it looks a bit crisper, definitely rendering a bit better, but the bugs went up, and the frame rate stayed the same. And I was interested, so it's interesting that I might have to open up Watch Dogs, even though I didn't really like the game that much.
Watch Dogs 2?
It was okay. Watch Dogs 2, not the new one.
No, Watch Dogs 2.
I have to open up. I've got a copy of 2, so I'll put that in.
I was going to say, I thought you liked it.
No, 2 was good.
The new
it has the same tone problem this one does, but at least it was fun. I did. Simon quickly asked, did we see that Facebook Thanos snapped their own page? They did.
Yeah, but if they want to go scorched earth and play a battle of attrition, then they're going to win.
They're going to win.
Because Sky News' YouTube channel today, all their videos had like 500.
I saw that.
I mean, that's like...
And K-Rod's is like 70,000,
I had a video of me and Oz tasting Switch carts. Remember that?
Yeah, I remember.
And we were sitting there licking Switch, and then we licked other games. Then we licked a Dreamcast game to see what that tastes like. Very yummy. Sort of thing we're doing. And that had more views. I checked it. It had more views than some of the recent Sky News videos. That's where Sky News are now.
Yeah.
And in fact, if they want to play that battle of attrition, then they'll lose. Yeah. Facebook will win. And Facebook can...
I do remember when they announced they were putting the bad coding on Switch games the kids didn't swallow. Like, they've got the anti-nail biting stuff, basically.
Yeah, so I looked at that, and me and Oz were and then we pulled out a bunch of other games. It's a silly joke, but we thought
it worked. It was a
do it.
Quality meme for especially old blokes like yourself.
So, 480 people watched it, so thanks, Mum. No, family's not that big. But, we did taste other games. The Saturn games were nice. PlayStation games not so much. Dreamcast games were anyway. Let's do another. So backward compatibility on Xbox is pretty good. And I'm gonna actually first deviation, right? Now
first deviation.
At Christmas I ordered a Polymega.
You mentioned it, yes.
Yeah. Now the Polymega is a console dedicated to emulation.
Yes.
So it's got a nice interface, all plug and play, and this is where it's different to everything else, right? And you put in a Sega Saturn disc. And it can install the Sega Saturn disc to hard drive, and then you just play the Sega Saturn game,
it just rips it straight to the thing.
And they're also coming out with a gun controller.
Yeah,
so
nice.
You can finally do Virtual Cop 1 2. And it also does PlayStation 1, Sega CD, and a bunch of other things. Anyway, it's as you'd expect, it's been delayed a few times, but it's a really nice retail product. Very polished, very good. Anyway, let me just say this is linked to the Xbox Series X. The Xbox Series X has a developer mode, which people have discovered you can install RetroArch on and a bunch of emulator cores, and you can use that as an emulator. Now, the emulation scene is the biggest load of scumbags I've ever come across, and they don't get it. I don't message to everybody on the Polymega groups. I don't care that I can run RetroArch on. Have you ever seen RetroArch on my Xbox? Because quite frankly, it's garbage, right? And then I have to find the BIOS for each console off the internet, download all the
boot it. Yeah.
I have these games sitting on my shelf, and I just like a way to. But it's constant stream in the Polymega groups of complete wankers hopping on and going, well, why don't you just boot your Xbox into dev mode, FTP to the console, log in, install RetroArch and all the cores, find the BIOSes for all the things, and then tweak all the settings so that you're set and play. And I'm going, dickhead, I could have already been playing Sega Rally.
and that's the argument. That kind of
I can't play my Xbox.
that goes back to the kind of the PS2 argument of like, the reason PS1 and PS2 were so successful was because of piracy. Because piracy was easy. You paid someone $100, they chipped your console, suddenly you could access the games, right? So the people who could buy them would still buy them, but other people couldn't. Like, a lot of this stuff is like, oh yeah, you can do this and do this and do this and do this, but or hear me out, I can pay $200 for a Polymega or whatever system you want to use.
Well, Polymega is expensive, right? It costs me about $1,000, but keep going. I'm not that much.
But those retro consoles we saw in Japan, like the ones that had them all ready to go, they were $250.
I can buy off one of the many Kogan brand, not Kogan branded online stores around now. There's like 100 of them, and Kogan now works like Amazon. You can put stuff on,
but he always wanted that anyway. So
So I can buy off them a small handheld that comes pre-installed with 20,000 games, because in China there's a loophole that they can do that, right? And in fact, China's no loophole.
But same with Russia. It's like half your TV shows that come from Russia.
So basically, I can do that. I know I can. Or people that go, but just get a Raspberry Pi. If you get a Raspberry Pi, you can emulate all these consoles, and you do. No, Raspberry Pi is not emulating a Sega Saturn, dickhead. But every time you talk about something that you want to do, you get these retro idiots. Just turn up and go, no, it's the same thing. I can get a Raspberry Pi and get a 3D printed case off one of these online stores, and then I can install a USB CD-ROM that does it, and then you got all these steps, and you go, I I am at the point where I just want something I can play my old games
Yeah,
on.
Boomer just wants to pay. He was fine. Like,
I don't have the time to do it. I've got work and other stuff, right? But the groups are full of these wankers. And the current one is the Xbox Series X has a developer mode.
Yes.
Costs you $20 to enable.
Yeah.
I think US. I'm very surprised they spent $20 because they're all cheap as hell. These dickheads.
And that's where a lot of it is that can I get away with it for no money? You know, or I don't want to give my money to these corporations. Like, we still bought the Xbox, but like, you know, like...
Yeah. I saved money. I haven't bought a Poly Mega, which is going to cost me maybe $1,000 with imports. I bought myself an Xbox Series X, and I'm a fucking hero because I saved money.
I think too many people bought
now I boot my Series X and play
Galaga. Bought stuff like Ouya and stuff like that.
Idiot. Like, anyway, so the retro scene's full of wankers, and I'm basically over it. It's just and you know what? This is another thing on Facebook generally. Now, we don't have news, and it's great. I'm glad I got rid of the news. But you know, if I'm in a group that is for such and such, I don't expect dickheads to come in and tell me that I should like something else. I had it the other day in a Hawthorn group. Some guys come in. I said Richmond's basically a good average team with the best player ever in them, and that's they've done well, right? And some dickhead spent all day in a Hawthorn group arguing me how good Richmond was. I'm going, dude, do you know where you are? Like what possesses people? I understand trolling. I'm a fan of trolling. I've done trolling.
But it's going to be fun,
But this is just like why do you like this thing? You should like this other thing, and I'm going to tell you it's just dumb. Anyway, that's my pet whinge.
Tell us how you really feel.
I just man, and Richmond's a good average team, but Oz has just hit the roof, by the way.
Yeah,
they're the best player of all time in there.
They've got it just happens. It helps them that they've got a competent team with perhaps the best player we've seen.
That's all you need.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it wasn't high level. I used to play basketball and volleyball, and in each one of them, we had one guy in each of our teams who was like, 6. In basketball, we had this guy that was 6'5", and could play like man. All we had to do was throw the ball.
Let's go super quick footy chat. I would argue that's the difference between a Richmond of this era and a Geelong and Hawthorn of its era or Brisbane is that you've got one player in Richmond that elevates a team because of his presence. But let's say Simon Black was out for a week in Brisbane, they'd still probably win the game. Let's say, what's the big boy who left that you hate? Franklin. Let's say Franklin.
I don't hate him. I just remember when he retired in 2014 or thereabouts. It's sad. He shouldn't have retired so early.
Yeah. So if he wasn't in the game, you had options. You had Sirioli. You had all this other stuff. You had these versatile teams that could, and then you had eras where you had both these versatile teams, like you had Geelong versus Hawthorn and Adelaide in the mix, and that was 3 blockbuster teams. Like they were that was a scary time to be any team that wasn't them or maybe Collingwood.
If you take Dustin Martin out of Richmond and put him into any of the other top 10 teams, all of them could win.
Get elevated,
because look, no, I'm not kidding. I think he seems like a bit of a tool, but he is the best player since Lee Matthews. Yeah. I mean, I haven't seen somebody that influential, and for the last 2 years, he's been treating rounds 1 to 22 as his preseason.
Yeah, he's just warming up, coasting up. Yeah. And
that's a level he's at now.
If nothing else, it's got to be said that he's perhaps one of the most consistent finals players. He turns it on every time. Yeah, 3 Norm Smiths, isn't it now?
Yeah, 3. Yeah,
he won one in the year that they didn't win.
One of them's should be Hoolies, but anyway, if you're looking at the teams on grand final day and you're playing Richmond, and if you saw Dustin Martin wasn't in, you'd
put $100 on the other team. Yeah.
You'd be pretty happy. But if you see he's in, you shit yourself. You go, geez, I hope he doesn't knee you really in the game or West stuff. Anyway, let's Splatoon. Let's do a video game.
So did you watch the direct at all?
No, but I watched the Splatoon non-gameplay video.
The Mad Max Splatoon trailer,
I was waiting for something to happen, but nothing happened.
Well, it was very, because the argument for Splatoon has always been that it's post-apocalyptic, and now we know that for sure.
Oh, it really is?
Yeah, it always has been. So humans morph with squids, and that's why they're like a...
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So, wait, there's a bit to unpack there. So
the Japanese made us think about human squid hybrids. Yes,
so tentacle porn actually happens at some point.
Trying to cut you off, but that's fine.
No.
Fisherman's wife / fisherman's ancestors.
We have a large weeb contingent as our audience.
I'm sure they'll correct this, but yeah.
So, okay. Yeah, okay, keep going. Yeah.
And so it was cool to see that. I'll be interested in what they do. Splatoon 2 was at that point. It was long in the tooth. They weren't doing events for it anymore. Splatoon 2 is a fantastic game. Like, if you see it cheap, it doesn't exist. But if you do, let's say they do a special on it between now and when they release things next year. Splatoon 2 is a fantastically fun game. For whether you're playing it competitive or you're playing it as like horde mode or whatever the case may be, it's great. But there was other stuff there that was good. The new Mario Tennis Mario Golf. Did you see the Mario Golf one?
Yeah, because Luke said they've added a story mode. Oh, I can't imagine what makes golf better than stories.
So, you say that. But Mario Tennis and Mario Golf in the old GameCube / Game Boy Color day. Game Boy Color Mario
I tried
Tennis.
to play the Game Boy Golf and Tennis, and you had to walk around and all
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Let me play the game.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
bad enough Sega Virtual Tennis tried to do these little
Yeah,
training
yeah,
things.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
no. No.
But at the same time, you
Game!
can just go into the arcade mode and do that. But did you see they introduced speed golf, which is basically hit your shot, hit your shot, and then run to it, and then hit it again. And it's not about necessarily how many shots you take to get in the thing; it's how quickly you can get in the hole. So it's like they've got power ups and stuff. So like, let's say you're running towards your ball, and you've got a star, you just run through the person. Get to your ball, play your
if
shot.
you run through the person in golf, that'd be good. Do you know how to make golf really good?
Yeah.
I've always believed this. If you want to make golf really good, then you have one person at one end of the... Is it a fairway?
Yeah.
And you have another person at the other end, and they hit balls at each other.
Yeah, right.
Right? And that would be the best...
Yeah, imagine that
I
season.
would watch
Imagine
that.
that season of Holy Moly. Denise Driles, I won't survive that one.
I watched Holy Moly the other day. That was... people wonder why YouTube's popular. Just watch Holy Moly.
To me, I'm like... The concept is so sound. Like, the concept is so...
we'll get there, Haas.
Yeah. The concept, like
golf.
I will say that
Yeah.
if nothing else, it's a win for marketing because it makes me want Holy Moly, right? I saw the signs on. I'm like, oh, it's a cool concept. And then you see the announcers, and then you see it's got Greg Norman there.
Have you heard the
Greg
jokes?
Fucking Norman. No, I don't even. No.
Heard the jokes?
Because and so every.
My God.
So as soon as I see who's involved with it and how it works, I'm like, this. And then their ads the other day, I was watching Normie TV the other day, and their ads the other day is the greatest hole in history. And I'm like, it's on the background of like hieroglyphs. I'm like, is this an article about Cleopatra or something? Like, it just no one paid attention to like
It was about Carey.
Yeah.
No, were you that traumatized by Facebook blocking news that you actually turned a TV on?
No, I was at a friend's place.
Oh, that's pretty bad.
And what are they watching? They're watching Wife Swap into RuPaul's Drag Race. Now, I like RuPaul's Drag Race, so I can't really pick on that.
I'm surprised you didn't drive
Wife
off
Swap
the
was
road
fucking
on the way
awful. It was awful.
Oh, well, Wife Swap's funny because not all wives are equal.
Yeah, for sure. And the one they had was like this hippie mum, and then this other one was like the kid gets 30 minutes to do his. I'm like, you just gotta relax. It could have worked. Like,
what are we talking about?
With the wipeout events in between.
You're still in this golfing thing, Holy Moly.
Yeah, like, because I don't know, like, we had It's a Knockout. You're old. You remember It's a Knockout.
I do, yeah.
Simon Townsend
My wife actually said this is a bit like It's a Knockout.
Yeah, Simon Townsend won. Like,
Simon Wonder's Boring World.
Yeah. The concept can
DJ
work.
fans will recognise
the
that.
concept can work, but it just misses everything.
It can't, it's TV.
And that's the thing, like, it's trying to do Ninja Warrior, but it doesn't have the pedigree of Ninja Warrior. And now they're doing the Ultimate Tag thing, and then Andy Lee's doing the Cube show, where it's like, you remember the Cube movie, the indie movie of the Cube?
No.
Where like 7 people are put into like the cube, and they have to navigate all the different traps. Spoilers, but yeah.
Someone's got to get sliced up into cubes.
Yep. And then Resident Evil stole that as a motif for the first Resident Evil.
If they do that, if they actually murder people in there.
Imagine Andy Lee just gets chopped
murder
up.
people in Holy Moly. Maybe murder the announcers and try and make the lame jokes. I'd watch that.
Look, I like the concept of Holy Moly, but it's just everything about it from that point onwards is like, this is awful.
I got Facebook friends that watch it. They go, this is really good.
How many kids are going, oh, this old blonde guy, I've never seen him before in my life, and apparently he makes golf courses. Well, what's his whole... No one gives a fuck what Greg Norman has to say in 2021. Like, just shut the fuck up. No one cares what Greg Norman said in 1990.
The only time he got coverage recently is when he stripped down naked to show that he'd still been going to the gym. He did. Yeah, okay. If you want to, just go on.
No,
just go on Google. Google
that's
Greg,
fine. I'm just going to
Greg
close
Norman,
Google. I'm going to Thanos snap Google and get rid of it. It's
go,
gone now.
Google Greg Norman nude.
Yeah.
He did.
Luckily, DuckDuckGo would save me from that. DuckDuckGo would go, no, it's in your best interest to not search that.
It is if you're searching that, you need to duck.
The Cube is an awesome movie. So there's Cube,
Cube
2, Hypercube, and then there's a third one. I haven't seen the third one.
Hypercube sounds fun.
Yeah. But they're good movies if you haven't seen them. Anyway, sorry. A video game. So the other one's Ninja Gaiden.
We did the video. Yeah, okay.
Ninja Gaiden got announced as like a remake on Switch. Of the Sigma editions. Yeah. Yep. Him and Jared have been going ham in our Discord about it for the last week because obviously they have bad memories of the Vita Sigma 2 port, and the Vita Sigma 2 port was just dreadful.
Was it?
Let's see if I bring up.
What's a Vita?
It's like a prototype Switch.
Oh really?
Yeah. It was like turns out Sony came up with the idea first, and then Nintendo made it better.
You're scrolling through Discord for what we.
Because I'm going to show you. No, because they're not going to see it. It's fine. I'm going to show you the image of Ninja Gaiden on Switch. Yeah.
It's going to make good radio.
Yeah. Was there anything else on the Nintendo Direct that you listed?
Splatoon. Okay. What I was going to say is I like Splatoon because it doesn't involve shooting people, and I've always thought there needs to be. What the fuck's that?
It's the Vita port of Sigma 2.
What's she doing?
Yeah. Yep. No idea. That's how bad it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's something else.
Yeah. There you go. There's us firing up about it straight away.
Yeah. No, that was what I just thought was pretty impressive. Where was I?
Yeah, I know, right?
Brain back.
Splatoon 3 is a good game because you're not shooting people.
Your brain's rebooting.
So did you see? I mean, with that in mind, did you see that they announced the complete edition of Garden Warfare for Switch?
Yeah, I actually didn't write that down. I totally forgot. I was telling my son. You know what's going to be interesting though, because Garden Warfare. Look, EA has bodged up Garden Warfare
badly.
Totally. But what they're going to do, and I hope they don't have crossplay. And the reason I say that is because the demo on Switch is perfect for Garden Warfare. It's the place to have it. It's going to be that, and it's a beautiful.
They'll sell 1 million copies. It's fine.
It's great. It'll get it restarted because it's dead everywhere else, right? It is absolutely dead. They've filled up all the games online, bots, even on Xbox with bots, right? But the problem is, if these Switch kiddies go anywhere near anybody who's been playing on an Xbox or even a PC, I don't think I'm playing PC, they are going to get wrecked.
And because they haven't balanced it. So they released the Wizard. The Wizard was broken on launch, and they've nerfed him a little bit. And obviously they were meant to do one for the plans. But now you've got
They pulled out of it.
Yeah, they stopped. Yeah. They're just fully backed out of it. And it's a shame because it's like...
They put in like Daisy and something else. It was just dumb. It was clearly they just gave up. And
it's sad too because it's like it fixed a lot of the issues I had with 2, like Rose being broken and all that kind of stuff. Like the early signs of it was promising. I liked the stupid like open world map at the start where you could play on the fairground and stuff like that.
Yeah, Giddy Park.
Yeah.
Giddy Park's good.
Yeah. You just muck around there until your game starts or whatever. I liked the modes. It was reasonably balanced. Like there were some things that were a bit broken, but Wizard was the most broken. Let's be real.
You get a competent Wizard player with a competent person on his head. And you're in deep shit. But look, see, if I'll just warn anybody that does try and play it on the Switch, if a player called McDermie turns up, it's not me, it's my son. Yeah. He's like the Technoblade of this game. Yeah, Technoblade in Minecraft. Technoblade.
I thought you were going anime on me. I'm like, Gerard's doing the anime reference.
It could be an anime
reference. I'm like,
could be an anime reference. Let's call that. But nah, if you come across one of the good, the Switch kids come across one of the really good players on Xbox, they're in deep shit.
Having played with and against your son, he's got the young reflexes and he's got a pretty good understanding of the way the meta of the game works.
He just plays it so much. And
I have to do old man tricks. The only way I could kill him was old man tricks. Like, come and get me. There's a landmine around the corner. I was like, yeah.
I'd tell you, you'd probably struggle now.
Yeah.
You probably would. He's just 14. He's just good at it.
Yeah. Like he's got the time to spend on it.
It's like I played Division, he played Division, right? Now it's like we were playing the same game, but on a different difficulty level.
Well, see, the one game that's good for that is what's that one with the big people? Gears of War. Gears of War, I can play it with you, and you can play it on normal difficulty. I can play it on extreme difficulty.
Oh, really?
And we can play together.
I think Gears of War is pretty slow.
It's very tactical, and because people underestimate.
I like tactical because I'm old and I can't think quick.
But people underestimate with Gears just how representative of actual squad tactics it is, and it really is. Like it is at its core a very tactical game.
They should wear helmets. Because, I mean, they're walking, they're big buffy guys, their heads exposed. I mean, if I was a bad guy, I don't know.
But it's like, it reminds you of Kano. It's like an orange on a barrel. But I mean, that was always the thing, like one hit from snipers.
Yeah, but I just spend my time training snipers if I was the enemy.
But that's usually how you lose. I mean, you play Gears Tactics, like that was an easy way to lose.
I played it for a while. I played it for for ages, and then I stopped. Then I started getting back into Minecraft.
Yeah.
And so...
That's how Bim's going out. Okay.
And so I've been uploading Minecraft videos to my Facebook channel. Nobody watches them. Please give them a watch.
Yeah, Dermie the VTuber.
My sister, well, what an idiot, I must be getting tired. My daughter has an Instagram channel. Oh, no, well, they're the same height. Hi, Kathy. My daughter has an Instagram channel, and she's been just doing little videos of her, like, opening Japanese food. So probably auditioning for Murasaki gimmick, and she's been getting like thousands of views.
Yeah, good on her.
I put up a Minecraft video, I got 2.
Yeah. Gotta go on the gram, bro. You gotta be on the gram.
Yeah, she's got more views than Sky News.
So, there you go.
Yeah.
Old man versus Minecraft. That's
Yeah, old man versus Minecraft. All right, cool. Where were we? Fall Guys is coming to Switch and Xbox.
Yes.
So,
it used to surprise absolutely no one.
No.
They've been flirting with this for a very long time.
Is it a thing? Is it still anymore? Is anyone play it?
Yeah. I mean, there's still enough turnout in our group, and I mean, you got to remember this is a game released by Devolver. No one expected it to be as popular as it was in the first place.
Devolver's just got a good track record, haven't they?
Yeah, I think there's very few Devolver games I can say are bad. They might not be my taste, or they may have not been as good as they could have been. But very rarely have I gone, this game is just shit.
If I go through the games I played a lot with my boy,
he played Katana, didn't he?
Yeah, I was going to play that as well. He just beat it several times already to try the ending. But I hate running backwards. Broforce, which is hilarious. I mean, Gungeon.
Even their weakest games are still fine. Do you know what I mean? Like the worst thing you can say about a Devolver game is, it was fine. But like the problem with that is, of course, is you're in the stablemates with something like Enter the Gungeon, which seems like such a simple concept, but it is layers on layers and layers of deep. You know what I mean? And that's what works for it. So, yeah.
Okay, so
Fall Guys. There you go.
Fall Guys. Oh, cool. Fall Guys.
So keep in mind that
Switch and Xbox coming soon.
PlayStation would have paid money for the exclusive. They would have said, "Here's $5 million." Thank you very much.
PlayStation paying money for everything at the moment.
Yeah.
So
Sony to be fair. It's all Microsoft to be fair. So,
well, I've got a good PlayStation one coming up soon, which we'll talk about longer. Okay. Google shut down their Stadia studio. This is just going to be no surprise.
And have you heard the reason that they reckon the speculation around it?
Because nobody wanted to play Stadia.
Yes, but also very specifically because Phil Spencer has been spending so much money on these studios that it scared them enough for him to just back out of the market. Was the rumor going around? Was the insider line?
Well, Google didn't have enough money.
Well, they must know who this new studio that Microsoft apparently bought is. So I mean, the bets are still out. I still think it's Sega. Sega's the dark horse.
Scare Google.
I think having Bethesda, Sega, your in-house studios like Obsidian and stuff like that, that's pretty formidable. You're starting to talk like competitive with any of the best of Sony studios at that point. You know what I mean? So, not that I've ever been a huge fan of Sony's internal studios particularly, but Sucker Punch make a good game generally.
So,
Naughty Dog make a good game.
If Microsoft got a bit of spare money left over, just jump on my webpage and just put an offer for my company. I'll take anything maybe a billion up.
Why the episode of The Simpsons? Millionaire computer nerd Bill Gates? It's like, I didn't get rich by writing a lot of checks.
Yeah.
But if you believe the internet, he got rich from inoculating Indian children with poison. That's
Bill Gates got rich from being an asshole,
a bastard,
and people forget that. Because I grew up when they were doing that, and he destroyed a lot of promising technology that would have had us 10 or 20 years ahead of where we are now, and he destroyed a lot of lives. He made a lot of millionaires and several billionaires at Microsoft. But all this stuff at the moment's dumb. So there's reasons to hate Bill Gates, and none of them are the ones you will see. So
I got kicked off one of the socialist subreddits, right? Because this guy was like, Bill Gates. You
kicked off a socialist one. You're a commie.
But Bill, I'm not even. Trust me. You read these people.
What?
I'm
living a lie.
He was like. Oh, Bill Gates gives vaccines to Indian children, blah, blah. It's like, can I see proof on this? And it was about the Gardasil vaccination and how they were giving it to Indian children. Yeah, but this is after they've given it to the West. So they guinea pigged it on the West, and now they're giving this evil vaccine to thing when it's been shown that it doesn't really have any, like, the things you're talking about are nonsense. Like there's plenty of reasons to hate it, but don't be anti-vax. Bang, banned, because I accuse him of being an anti-vaxxer. Ben got turned over because they realised that, well, yeah, he was actually being anti-vax. Like, for all the reasons to hate Bill Gates, there's plenty of reasons.
No, there are good reasons.
The antitrust shit from the 90s should be enough reason.
Actually, what he's doing now is actually decent. But then again, how he got in a position to do that
because
is
he
wrong.
stole millions of dollars, exactly, yeah.
Billions, but not stole. It's just he basically...
He manipulated an environment whereby making millions of dollars.
Through legal means, which can't respect. Oh, I can respect him because he could code. And in fact, unlike Steve Jobs, he actually could write code.
That's the joke about Wozniak, isn't it? It was like...
Woz was the guy that did everything.
Yeah.
He did the
and
whole
he's still
lot.
that guy. He loves being that guy. So,
Jobs didn't do a thing. Anyway, what was I talking about? Games.
But we were talking about buying up publishers because we were talking about Sony. And then Huss said better Microsoft or Sony than Tencent. I agree with that sentiment. With Tencent are buying stakes in, so just enough to make you hurt.
I saw a Tencent product the other day. Yeah, the Monster Hunter movie.
Yes, if you make it critical.
My God.
Yeah.
We're back to, but so we went Detective Pikachu. Finally, video game movies are good. Sonic. Finally, video game movies are okay. This is a good, promising trend. Monster Hunter. Oh fuck! That's all.
Liam loved the Monster Hunter movie. It was his favourite of last year.
Did he really?
No.
I was going to say Liam. No. I told you what my wife said about Liam when she saw one of the things. I said that's funny. She goes, that's not funny. I said no, Liam from New Game Plus said it was funny, and she goes, who's he? I said he reviews movies on New Game Plus, and my wife goes, I hope he doesn't review comedies because he's not a good judge.
Anyway, to be fair, you like pixels, so it's like
Shut down, but I look like pixels.
They do, yeah.
We're gonna start a little pixels group on Facebook. We're gonna kick you out. We're gonna invite you and then just kick you out.
No homeless party. Yeah.
Oh, we'll have to do a Discord channel. Oh wait, which one is it? Adam Sandler. Anyway, where are we next? So you reckon Google got scared by Microsoft buying?
Apparently, that was one of the articles I read. So yeah.
Okay. So it lasted 14 months. Microsoft would be impressed by a product that lasts 14 months. Windows
Zune waves,
Windows Home Server, that file system.
Windows Home Server was great when
it was fantastic. Great for restoring if something went wrong because the way it did its raid was just copying stuff. Anyway, it's okay. Now where are we? Okie dokie. We're going to get a little bit different now. Okay. Overwatch 2. I don't know how we're going. I'm glad we're not.
Why are we on Blizzard?
I'm glad we are not on Twitch like we were going to for what I'm about to say. Overwatch 2 and do you remember last year when there was all this free Hong Kong stuff and it was all and some dude
boycott Modern Warfare 2.
Well, there was and at the time. We on this podcast and a lot of other people might have cynically suggested that the very rushed announcement of Overwatch 2 and Diablo 4 was just to take a bit of a ScoMo thing to do. Let's quickly announce something to change the media cycle. As it turns out, we might have been right because Activision has said that there will be no Overwatch 2 or Diablo 4 in 2021. Okay, maybe there's nothing unusual about it. But there will be a re-release of Diablo 2.
And I think it's Vicarious. Is Vicarious Vision's doing it, or is I think the scuttlebutt is the Vicarious Vision. So Vicarious Visions did a lot of the Tony Hawk games, a lot of the Tony Hawk ports that Neversoft didn't do.
Okay.
And they got shut down and incorporated into Blizzard. So
that was a story from about 3 weeks ago.
Yes,
yep. Or 4 weeks ago. Yep.
Yeah. So I reckon it was them who unfortunately drew that particular short straw. Which sucks because Vicarious Visions make pretty good.
So they're not making any new, or they're making old Diablo. So this stuff they did, we did say at the time, the Overwatch 2 announcement, the Diablo 4 announcement smelled like trying to change the media narrative. It was. I mean, we've been around long enough to spot this stuff.
I've never been a Blues fan to begin with, let's be real.
Beginning Diablo 2. I got Diablo 2 on my computer. I don't see why you'd... Look, I've got to be honest, Diablo 2... we remember these old games fondly. They were fun. We enjoyed them. But I played Diablo 3, and Diablo 3 is pretty spectacular.
So Diablo 2, again, it was groundbreaking in a lot of things. Like Diablo 1...
groundbreaking 20, 30 years ago.
Correct. And that's exactly my point. Is like since then, you've had Torchlight, you've had Path of Exile.
Torchlight was good.
That have all taken
Torchlight 2, no.
The same... Torchlight 3's out now.
Torchlight 3, no.
Have you played 3, or...?
No, I went to buy it, and I had a look at the video on that, and I went, no, they've just gone down a bad path. They're having trouble. They need... Look, the developers of Torchlight need help. They need an intervention because Torchlight 1 was incredibly good. But anyway, yep. Vicarious Visions did the Hollywood stuff at PlayStation.
Did the Crash remakes as well with Vicarious Visions.
Anyway. They were good.
Yeah.
I'm stuck on the bridge. That stupid bridge in the sky. You can get stuffed.
I hate Crash Bandicoot, so...
I love it, I hate that bridge. Anyway, yep.
Anyway, I feel like, they're like, but we've increased the loot system and it'll be cross-play and it'll be all these things. I'm like, yeah, okay, so, you've decided that instead of, making Diablo 4 with these things and renewing it that way, it's like, it's pure nostalgia bait. And considering how badly they fucked up Warcraft 3, you remember when Warcraft 3 refunded? Because this one's Diablo 2 Resurrected. It's like, so when Warcraft 3 came out, the joke tagline became Warcraft 3 refunded, because they just did such a bad job of porting it. If they fuck this up, I mean, if it's Vicarious Visions doing it, there's less of a chance of that happening because obviously they've got experience porting games. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, I've never been that big a Diablo, bigger Blizzard fan. The best game that I played at Blizzard was Overwatch, and that was good in spite of itself.
Diablo 2 is fun, but why aren't I going to play Diablo 3? Look. Do you remember that guy?
You remember the Diablo 3? Do you remember the launch when the servers wouldn't work and the real money auction house got put in and then taken away?
That was part of it. Remember, there was this. It was leading up to something with two initials of the same letter. I don't think I'd say it, but it was leading up to a major event in video gaming where there was actually a lot of disaster launches. SimCity. Remember SimCity? They said it had to have always online because of server and
then instantly someone hacked it and found
the dickhead from Polygon said, if you reckon it can't work without online server, you don't know how this stuff works. I thought, dude, you're an idiot. It actually got officially released a little while later, not needing a server. But Diablo was one of them. There's a bunch of games
because that SimCity game was fine. It was just a stupid online thing. It was like, why did you tether it to this online system?
And when they reviewed it, they gave all the reviewers or the press who got a review.
It was a different copy of the code.
Yeah,
we didn't review it on that basis.
It was like if you wanted to prove to the Australian public that a vaccine's safe, but you took a different one to what the public's going to get. Because it was that dumb.
But you didn't want autism. Like that's how it works.
It was that sort of dishonesty that was going on.
Yeah.
So anyway, Diablo 2's coming out. So obviously, Activision's not doing shit at the moment. They've come out with a re-release of an old game. Well done, Activision. But that announcement of Overwatch 2 and Diablo 4 was clearly.
Jump in there
media
for a
narrative.
How much of this do we keep putting on Activision? Because keep in mind that Blizzard are now more and more becoming the company that's not making the game. Call of Duty Warzone. As much as I hate the story of Call of Duty Cold War,
Warzone's pretty good
because I can't shoot Reagan, right? I can't. So I'll make
you still spoon over that.
It makes me very.
Just the one where you go get to shoot all the ex-presidents would be fun. Well, hello FBI.
Yeah. Warzone was great. Well, I mean, I didn't play Black Ops 1 because you could technically headshot JFK.
Trump 2, so I'm okay, right?
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. You're safe now. Kobe's like, this guy's all right. Don't worry about it. I'm going to drag that Hillary bitch down, though. But anyway,
lock her up. Oh, back on the watch list.
You sorted now. But no,
Q sent me. Is that podcast still on? Can we just get
Anyway, Pete Evans will show up next. He's
running for the parliament.
I know, right? This is
going to be
for Rod Culleton's party, who specifically want us to go back to being a monarchy. They want us to go back to being part of the monarchy.
Aren't we already? We are.
But he wants to remove that and go back to 1901 Constitution.
Okay.
He wants to remove the Australia Act. Anyway, look, doesn't matter. Moral story, Peter.
Are we going to start accepting prisoners again?
Yeah. No, of course not. We won't even accept refugees, let alone prisoners. Anyway.
That'd be awkward, wouldn't it? Stop the boats and they're like...
Yeah, unless you're coming deep sorted. But yeah, no, I just feel more and more that Activision are making the games that their audience wants. And Warzone's great and all these things are fantastic. Like, they're well-made games. And even in a bad year, like a COVID year, they still managed to release a reasonably full-sized Call of Duty game. And yeah, obviously it's a Call of Duty game.
That's how they have to change 10 lines of code.
It's still using the same shitty Quake 4 engine, I get it. All those things are absolutely true. Not going to argue with you.
Just change a few colours here and there.
Yeah, but they still make it interesting enough to do it. The support for Warzone and the multiplayer. Me and Cardi played dozens of hours of Call of Duty Warzone and normal multiplayer because it's back to being fun. I don't know, man. I hate to
be boys on that. I told him, I said, if you want to play with the big boys, the serious ones, Plants vs. Zombies is good.
Yeah.
But if you want to really play with the big boys, jump on Call of Duty.
And there's a rumour now that there's a zombies mode, a wide scale.
Of course, there's a fucking zombies mode.
But coming to
God.
I get it. But on a map the size of Warzone, you could do some interesting things with it. Do you know what I mean? As opposed to being limited to...
You make a game that's not about zombies.
Look, you're not going to get that.
Oh, can we have Nazis as well? Nazi zombies. Let's just have all the originality.
You remember, Nazi zombies are just the easiest enemy because they're great for AI purposes because all you got to do is add swarm buttons.
Yeah, because they're dumb.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's Nazis, and no one feels bad about shooting them. You know what I mean?
All that's to do with zombies, and that's what I've always hated zombies. You're shooting something like it's like a human, but you don't feel bad because they're like ugly.
And you get away with classification. Remember, Left 4 Dead 2 got knocked back on the basis that they weren't zombies; they were infected, which meant they were human still. Which meant that they therefore...
Coronavirus.
Yeah, coronavirus, yeah.
Coughing.
Yeah. They weren't wearing masks, that's why you have to shoot them in the head.
Okay, Dictator Dan.
yeah, I know, right? Oh, man, fucking Lee Sales.
I'm calling Avi Yemeni.
Yeah. He's getting... He got rejected, he got knocked back by Dictator Dan. He was looking for his chop and block, he was so upset. Anyway...
What are we doing?
Okay,
Last of Us TV show. All right, Last of Us TV show. Pedro Pascal is going to be...
That was a great pick. I'm on board for that. I think the way he handles Mandalorian is very similar to the way Joel is. You just got to add a bit of edge and a bit of that duplicitousness that Joel has, that thing. The girl, I didn't ever watch Game of Rape, so I don't know what it's like. So
Pedro Pascal's in everything.
So they were both in Game of Thrones.
You were telling me that he was a guy.
He was Oberyn, and she was
Bella. I wrote this down. Bella Ramsey, because I didn't know because I stopped watching. We've talked about Game of Thrones. I stopped watching after about season 3.
I got 3 episodes in
because it was just dumb. Look. There's the Ned Stark thing was great.
Yeah.
And in fact, that season 1, I didn't mind season 1, and then it just got dumb, and it became a meme. And then it became a disaster. And as you've said, have you ever seen a show disappear
from the zeitgeist
just
quick? Yeah.
Instantly? Like everyone went, "Oh, thank God that's over." Just nobody talked about it other than it was shit. Now Bella Ramsey, I did watch a bit of stuff. I don't see it, but anyway.
Yeah, I've got to be.
I see her as Ellie.
I hate to be that guy because, she's just some young actress, and she did a good job in the few clips I've seen. Yeah, she was fine, but she just doesn't evoke Ellie.
She's articulate.
Yeah, she doesn't evoke Ellie, and I think that's where obviously you can't exactly ask Elliot Page to come back and do the role that was technically stolen from him at this point. I just got to keep track of it. But at the same time, she just doesn't evoke that thing. So I guess it doesn't matter for TV audiences because they're not coming at it with the baggage of the game inherently. But at the same time, you've got to realise that's who you're appealing to. Like I say, that second game, if you wrote that as a series of premium television, it'd be fucking bonza. It'd be perfect 10 episodes.
I feel bad for Pedro. After saving Yoda, then have to go golfing with the
gets spoiled.
Amazon chick.
But no, I think, look, again, I hope she does well, and I mean, she's a good enough actress. It doesn't evoke...
Baby Yoda crowd would not deal with that very well.
Whereas Pedro Pascal, give him a beard. Yeah, he's like, obviously he's got that little bit of kind of Latino or like Spanish blood or whatever it is that differentiate a little bit from Joel, because Joel's a bit more white bread, but like, I think he looks close enough. He's acted that role well enough. It doesn't matter. She just doesn't evoke Ellie, but I come from the game. I come from that preconceived notion of what Ellie looks like. It just doesn't strike me as Ellie. But I'm sure she'll do a great... Yeah, I'm sure she'll do a great job. But it'll be one of those things where I think after a couple of episodes it'll either gel and I'll forget it, or it'll just always be that sticking point that always kind of takes me out of what is otherwise a pretty good show. I've got pretty high hopes for it.
If he does do a couple of rounds of golf in the TV show, I remember the Baby Yoda groups when they punched. Remember the Stormtrooper punched Baby Yoda? Yeah. They lost their shit. Absolutely did. They won't like seeing Yoda's dad hurt.
Remember how upset they were when he was eating the eggs from the salamander people? Like, they were like, oh my god. Yeah,
I know the Baby Yoda fans weren't upset. They thought it was cute as hell. Idiots got upset. Easily upset people got upset. Yeah. The actual all the Baby Yoda fans were like posting stuff. They were like, oh, they're just like eggs and stuff. Because it was their eggs that were telling them, right? It's cute.
My caveat to this will be, let's say it follows a very similar pathway as the game, and I assume it will.
Well, it can't, because Pedro Pascal won't live past the first episode.
But I mean, no, not from season 2.
Sorry, spoiler.
You could
Mandalorian's in deep shit.
You could cut that first game into 2 seasons easily, right? So you could do it 3 seasons before he cops it, right? Easily enough. Right?
If you meet a bunch of strangers in a cabin,
just run.
Just don't say your name.
Yeah.
What's your name? Fred.
Yeah, Jeff. Yeah, my name's Jeff.
Who are you looking for, Joel? Never heard of him.
Yeah.
Don't know who you're talking about.
But
looks like me. No, definitely
my
not me.
interest will be who they would cast for Abby. I think that's a way more interesting casting conversation. Because who do you cast with that particularly like, not masculine physique, but it is like a muscular physique.
Okay, I tell you, my favourite actress who's like that is Frankie Adams. I think it plays Bobby Draper in Expanse.
Oh yeah,
she's like about 6'2". She's a boxer in real life. She's part married.
Yeah, okay.
Boxer in real life.
Yeah, that would work. I think that could.
She's still feminine as well, which is going to upset the people on the internet.
Yeah.
I
mean, the right wing was the one. The
whoever it is,
the silly 4chan trolls were going in on that.
Yeah, 4chan's boring now. Now Trump's gone. They've gone so boring.
Back to normie shit.
No fun at all. Anyway, but yeah, Frankie Adams, she should be good.
Okay.
New Zealand actress.
Not a bad suggestion. I'll take that.
She's about your height. Boxers. Yeah.
No, that's a good suggestion. I like it because that was always the thing. That was why Abby worked in that situation in the first place, was because the character model itself had that physicality to it. Like, she had the shoulders, she had the... Like, she was able to, like, wrestle an aggressive zombie down. You could believe that. Do you know what I mean? And that was always the thing with, like, Ellie.
You want to wrestle a zombie? Don't they bite you?
Well, like,
they bite your neck. When I played with Oz...
That's the clickers.
No, biting my neck all the time.
Yeah, because you crap at it.
That's why I was willing to
play. The normal one's just, like, they beat you. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's
okay.
Like, so you watch her fight, right? So you watch Ellie fight in the game, and she got a little switchblade, and so she's like cutting them as so she'll dodge, step back, stab, and then stab. Whereas like Abby was big enough to go boom, boom, woof, and just hit him, and then when they were like stunned, jump in on him. You know what I mean? So I think that kind of aggression is the kind of thing you need to bring. That's what I think. These two are fine. Again, I think that I'll get past the she doesn't look like Ellie thing. But it'll be interesting if they go down the Abby route.
Google Bobby Draper.
Okay.
Frankie Adams is the actress.
Okay.
I show people, because I know you definitely listen to this podcast. You want to get Frankie Adams in to play the.
She needs to tank up a bit.
No, she is.
Do Expanse?
Do Bobby Draper, because that's her character in Expanse.
Okay.
And when she's wearing a Martian military outfit, she's.
Oh yeah, okay, there we go. Yeah, for sure. I mean, like, it's all.
Oh, that's fan art.
Yeah, it's all fan art. But you can even see like the thing got a little bit more.
Yeah. See.
But again, I still think you'd tank her up a bit. She'd do a good job. I think that'd be fine.
She'd punch on with the zombie.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I think. Oh, damn, like a full screen one there.
Yeah, just don't scroll too far because it does get.
Yeah, it gets NSFW. Yeah,
it gets that new Resident Evil game, which has done exactly what we thought it would do. Okay, Sonic 2 will have Tails in it. Has been confirmed. Okay. Sonic Movie 2. Yeah, Sonic 2 the game. Yeah, we'll have Sonic 2 the movie will have Tails in it. Been confirmed. No surprise. Tails was in the end credit sequence. That's not sequence. That's not a spoiler. If you're watching the movie,
to be fair, so
you should. You shouldn't because you'll hate it.
Well, I just got attached to a Great Plex server, so I'm sure it's on there. I'm sure I can find it.
It's good. I'm gonna like it. You know that. But yeah, you've got generally bad taste in movies. Let's be honest.
Sure. Let's go with that. Let's go with my bad taste in movies.
Sonic 2 has got Tails in it. Big Fern, it'll be out in April 2022. This actually, I hate this, right? When they announce things like that, because there was another announcement I actually skipped over. Bungie's making a new IP that's going to be out in 2025. Look, at my age...
I might not see it. Yeah.
It's getting touch and go. It's like I've complained about this with Deus Ex.
That means 4 more years of Destiny at least. That's crazy. The idea that Destiny 2 is going to last them 4 more years.
Yeah, I'd like to. Will I last 4 more years? I mean, Sonic 2 is going to. Yeah, but then Sonic 3 is going to. Oh, actually, Sonic 3 will probably be cancelled because that's what always happens.
Yeah, Biden became president at 75, so you got
Biden's older than Paul Keating, and Paul Keating hasn't been our prime minister for 20 years, 25 years. But anyway, so what was I saying? Sonic Movie 2, April 2022. I hope I'm still around to see it. I can't wait. Now, last one I had for video. Do you have anything on Sonic?
No, I'm good. I'm good with Sonic. It's good.
Okay. Do you remember the discussions about pricing of games?
Yes.
And this I think is going to be... This is going to be a significant thing.
Right.
This is going to be a big thing this year.
I'm going to put on my helmet. It's a Sony game. It's probably a first or second party Sony game, and it's going to be at least $119.95.
Okay, well, you've done well. You've been doing this for a while, obviously. Okay, so Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. That's the new one. It's going to be released in Australia at the maximum retail price for a game that apparently Sony allow, whatever, $124.95. $125.
Taking the piss.
Yep. Now, we've had this discussion, and I remember we said that this discussion about game prices and how games should cost more only affects one company.
Yeah.
Right? Really? Because Nintendo does what it wants.
Yeah.
They're just going to do $80 games because that's their price point. If Sony's going to put the games at $125...
Free Game Pass sub.
while Microsoft gives you... How much is 12 months of Game Pass? About that?
$140.
Okay, pretty close. It's $15 a month, isn't it? 15 by 12.
Yeah.
You should be able to
Game
get in
Pass.
what
was it? $15.95 by 12.
Yeah, whatever.
Come on, you do it. It's $170 then.
Okay, it's not far off. It's 1.5. Brand new Sony games. If Sony wants to do this, it's going to be a disaster for them. And I know Sony's made a lot of money recently. They have had
$1 transition deal.
$1 to do it now. If they're going to do this and they are testing the water with this, absolutely they are testing to see what happens. Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart is a game that will be played by the keen gamers and the normies. So they're just seeing what the sales are. If they want to push game prices up to $125, they are not going to succeed at all with the PlayStation 5 because over on Xbox land, $15 a month.
And that's why I said Sony, because I'm like, it has to be an exclusive because they have to have a reason to drag it.
Because Microsoft aren't doing all Microsoft stuff is going to go in Game Pass Game 1. And they own like heap of companies now and soon more, right? So basically Game Pass, you have a choice now between Game Pass for $15 a month and play whatever you feel like, or buy brand new games for $125 each, which is insane.
And that to me is the argument. So let's say this: even in its worst years, there was always going to be at least 2 games on Microsoft platforms that you'd be interested in, right? So let's say you like Forza and you like Halo, or you like State of Decay or something like that, right? You buy each of those games individually, and it costs you $100 for each game, or it costs you $80 because you got them on special. It's $160. That's 2 months, 1 year of Game Pass for 2 games, plus you get the rest.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it just... And then what'll happen is, let's say the game comes off Game Pass, usually then it goes on sale. So let's say you bought the DLC for XYZ, and it comes off Game Pass. So, alright, so now that you've either haven't finished the main game or whatever the case may be, it gives you an impetus to do it. It's like when something's gone off Netflix. Oh, I like that movie, I should watch it before it goes, right? And it sucks that you shouldn't be told when and where you can play your games. But at the same time, I'm like, I don't know, I miss curated content a little bit, like... YouTube suggestions and Facebook suggestions are shithouse and have been for a long time.
I was going to say it's not done well. But,
yeah. But I mean, all my videos on Thingery, the Cody, not
I gotta watch his new one. What's his new one? Oh, about billionaires.
Yeah, them, Geordie.
I love Cody.
Or like
he's got the puppet back. I love
yeah. Or like gun videos, and that's legitimately.
And gun videos. Oh, we are well and truly on the FBI's watch.
Yeah.
Hello, guys. Hello, Agent Johnson.
And so like, I miss curated content. So having that kind of impetus at the same time though, they converted me. So I got the Hunter as part of Game Pass, right? The hunting game. You walk around.
You're talking about that. Yeah.
And it's a great game to just. It sounds awful to chill out to. Because it's
chill out, move around.
Walk around. You hear all the nature. You're minding your business. You hear like a sparkle in the bushes.
Shot a deer.
Bang, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Okay.
Look, whatever. Anyway, moral story is shut up. Right. But I find it relaxing because it's a game that like you can have 3 interactions of like action in the space of 2 hours. Like you might only find 3 animals. You know what I mean? But it's like that walking around, and I find it peaceful.
I kind of do a Sega-based fishing.
Very similar concept.
But see, I don't murder them. I just kiss them, and then off they go.
He puts them in the boat. You're not Rex. You're not fucking. What's his name?
Maybe I'm like
Rex hunting them.
Maybe I'm like Troy McClure. They stay in the boat.
I heard he sleeps with the fishes. Oh no, that's not what I meant. Hang on.
It's a Liberal Party fishing policy.
There we go. Yeah. That's the risky one for the day.
Would be good. So
yeah.
I used to say that they were raping and pillaging Australia, but I actually didn't know the raping bit was literal, not metaphorical.
Don't do it.
We got this far. We got 56 minutes in
before you ruined it all. But yeah, no.
Hello, FBI.
I converted that sale into. I bought the season pass. They had a special edition offer of the game for like $50. and I bought all the different maps and all the extra stuff. So that converted me on to the sale. So I understand why it can be seen as a cynical marketing exercise. But if I had never actually paid for that game, I got dozens of hours of enjoyment out of that, not including all the other random games that I've been playing and downloading. Like, I've finally been playing NHL again, and I love NHL. So,
hockey.
Yeah, hockey. Titanfall 2 is now on thing. You know what I mean? All these games that...
allegedly. I just want to...
Yeah, allegedly, yeah.
Thanks, Matt. You got my back there. Allegedly. I'll edit allegedly. Actually, I'll put a thing up.
Just permanently.
Actually, I should just wear a T-shirt that says allegedly.
But yeah, so I don't know. I agree with you. I think 129 is just delusional. Like they're selling themselves.
124.95.
They're selling themselves on a spectacle.
Unless I can't read my own writing. But yeah, that's Australian. Look, that is insane. They're testing the waters. Ratchet and Clank's going to be, like I said, a mix of normies and
it's going to be enough people with young kids into it.
Yeah. So people buy it in JB. But look, if Sony wants to do that, it's going to be. It's really going to be a battle they'll lose because
there you go. There's Simon. Yeah, I would have played Titanfall 2, but I had it on Game Pass, so I loved it.
Yeah,
that was such a good game. Like,
I got Titanfall 2 for like $4 for my son, but yeah. So the thing is, you do it, and then you love it, and then you go and buy the DLC. They know the business model, and I've got no problem with that. That is a fair way to use DLC.
Microsoft say we'll give you $5 million to access your game on thing. Then you still get to keep 70% of any DLC you make, and it's a good way to extend the life of something without expecting people to pay for it up front at the start. It's like, I've got Game Pass for all this other stuff. By the way, you've also can access all this extra stuff.
And a game, if you had a game like say Deus Ex, you could actually release new missions consistently and not just throw your team onto what was that game that they did? Well, there was some other game they made, but I can't remember because nobody bought it.
Justice League or something?
Who knows? Yeah. Because nobody plays it. So, but you could just do DLC on it because you don't have to rewrite the engine each time. You already got the engine. And in fact, most engines these days are such good quality, they'll last for the next 10 years anyway. They are so good.
That is the one thing I will say that they've been, usually most of the companies have been pretty smart on. EA has Frostbite. Even Avalanche has their own in-house engine that scales up and down really well. A lot of them are going with these scalable engines that are outside of Unreal.
The Dawn engine was on Deus Ex Mankind Divided, which is no doubt, I don't know, but it's probably using whatever game they made after that.
Ubisoft has their one, I can't remember what it's called. Like they've all got...
Just Cause 4 had a dedicated engine made just for that.
Because why would you give all that money to Epic when Epic are borderline competitor now? Do you know what I mean? Like that's
you would be as a long-term strategy if you're a video game dev. You would be moving away.
If it cost you $1 billion, you would still make that money back.
Because if you're Activision or Ubisoft, you can. So
but even like Avalanche, even Avalanche have their own, and Avalanche.
Don't know what you're talking about, Hussein. Never. I don't know. Just those words. They're just words. Yeah. Anyway,
Martha, why did you say that name?
I like the meme from King Kong versus Godzilla. Yeah. Why did you say Mothra? That's a good meme.
I'm keen to watch that.
See, Facebook didn't ban memes. If Facebook banned memes, then I'd have a problem. They only ban news. I don't want news. I want memes.
Well, we're back now. We've been un-Thanos snapped, so I guess it's always good.
And in fact, mentioning Zack Snyder, I'm looking forward to the new Justice League movie.
Why?
That hasn't been fucked up by Joss Whedon.
Why?
Because I like... You know what? Okay.
I'm going to say it. Let me clear the air now. Dawn of the Dead was fine. The rest of his movies suck. If you're talking about Zack Snyder's defense.
Don't know what it is. Anyway, so... He's not quite Christopher Nolan, but I'm gonna say this might be the most controversial thing I'll ever say on the podcast. I reckon I like DC way more than Marvel.
But DC, not based on the movie, sure. Nah, they're all...
I like DC.
That's just a bad opinion.
DC movies are better than Marvel.
The best thing about DC is Vertigo and all the.
Don't know what that is.
They're the ones that do like The Boys and stuff like that.
Oh, Boys is good.
Yeah.
Who makes that?
That was DC. It was Vertigo.
See, told you.
Yeah.
Boys in season 2 got a little bit like my Twitter feed. It was a bit like, all right, I got it, but if you're going to keep the subtlety, like when Homelander turns around and he gets annoyed, everyone flinches, right? And that's like a domestic violence abuse.
Show don't tell.
Like, and then they got, and if you have to do the thinking for your audience, you're not going to, you know, it doesn't work, right?
Especially to show like Boys, don't talk down to your audience. You're already there for the counterculture. Don't make it a meme.
It's just so good when and when they change the ending of season 2, so Homelander's having a wank over the city. And when it was supposed to be originally, he was looking down from onto Earth from space with his eyes glowing, thinking, "Will I just destroy them all?" Right?
Yeah.
And it's like they sort of season 2 was like they.
You might have read the comics, so yeah, I know the story in the comics.
I only read like comments on it, but season 2 to me and the boys was a little bit like too obvious.
Yeah.
But anyway, I still loved it. But it's DC thing. DC better than Marvel. I like DC.
I disagree.
Better characters.
I disagree on the basis of multiple.
Better characters.
Shazam sucked, and that was the only one that had the potential.
Shazam was the best. Shazam
was carried by Zach Levy and Mark Strong.
By Chuck.
It was shit.
He was being Chuck again. Chuck was great.
And he was great. Yeah, he was fine in that. Yep. Mark Strong as the bad guy was good.
Who's Mark Strong?
The main bad guy, bald dude. He's been in a bunch of stuff as the bad guy, especially British stuff.
Well, bald dude's always the bad guy.
Not quite.
Lex Luthor's bald.
It's true, he is. But yeah, I disagree. Only on the basis that Superman sucks. Batman's only as good as his baddies. Wonder Woman was a tip bondage fetish from 1950s. All their other characters suck. They had a bit of hope with New 52. Animal Man was good. There's a few other good ones. Then that sucked. DC sucked. Because it's even by Disney standards.
They could take Iron Man and Spider-Man and take them and do the hostile.
Spider-Man's the best.
Then they'd have all the good ones.
What? As in Mark Strong's an Aussie. But yes, Shazam was the best of the recent movies, and it still sucked.
It's saying his best viewer today.
But it still sucked. Like it was.
Shazam was good.
No, you're complaining about boys being Twitter feed. I mean.
Yeah, but Boys was...
Shazam was the most multicultural action task force movie I've seen in years.
Yeah, but Boys was like an intelligent show. Yeah. It was clearly made a bit more intelligent. And then season 2, it just went, now the incel on the internet's going to shoot a guy. And it's like, oh no, I'm reading my Twitter feed.
Yeah, I mean, have you...
It got a bit dumb.
Have you read
she's stuff? Actually an obvious Nazi. We're not talking the subtle Nazism stuff. We're just going to be out there and obvious, are we? It's like dumb. And then we're going to make sure she gets payback because we're all Americans now. We have this idea that everyone has to get payback at the end. Good always wins. All that other crap. And
he's English. No, you're wrong, Simon. I hate to be that guy. He's English. Maybe he was in...
Oh, that guy. I remember him.
He's been in a heap of shit.
He was in Shazam. Yeah. He was good.
Oh, you motherfucker.
He's been a lot harder than me.
He's been in a heap of stuff. But he was in EastEnders and a bunch of those kind of shows. Because Simon was like, I think he was in Neighbours. I'm like, well, I wouldn't be surprised because he's a POM, but yeah, I don't think he was.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. That's all right. It was not the end of the world if you're not right on that one. But yeah, he's great. He's great in everything he's in.
I'm just not used to it.
Moral story is DC sucks. You're wrong.
Hey, okay, everyone comment. Which is better, DC or Marvel? Quick, you got like a minute before we wrap up.
Spider-Man alone beats him. Beats everything that DC's ever done.
I like the meme of Iron Man and Batman throwing money at each other.
Yeah.
But Spidey. Sony screws Spidey.
Yeah.
But they have to make a movie to keep it.
Like, my argument is, I would say there are individual peaks of brilliance that DC has had. Whether you liked the end ones or not, he was in John Carter. Whether you like the end of them or not, the Batman Arkham Asylum games are fantastic. The whole series was good, right? The Batman cartoon from the 90s was fucking #1, perhaps one of the best children's cartoons.
I think I used to watch that.
Yeah, like as much as I like the X-Men cartoon and the Spider-Man cartoon, the Batman cartoon was a level above, right?
I don't like the Marvel tone's dumb.
Yeah. I think... I would say, if anything, the annoying thing with DC is there is always so much potential and they always puss out. Like, the few times that Superman is interesting is when Lex Luthor's like, how the fuck do I kill this horrible threat that comes in from another planet?
Yeah, Superman's like a girl Superman in Marvel. They're sort of like, if you're indestructible, it's a bit boring. Yeah. And you got these weak-ass kryptonite stuff.
Whereas, like, look, I don't know, like, maybe it's because I grew up on Spider-Man, X-Men... that edgy era, Venom, Carnage, that era of Marvel, so that appeals to me more. But DC movies just do not interest me in the slightest. I hate Nolan. I think Nolan
Christopher Nolan's awesome.
He's the most overrated
Batman
director.
movies are so good.
You suck though. The only good one out of them was the first one.
That was so good.
The second one was half an hour too long, and the third one, ooh, hello there, Mr. CIA man.
Actually, I will
get the fuck. I love Tom Hardy. I couldn't even watch it. I got 5 minutes into it.
That Bane was dumb. Yeah, and his voice was dumb. It wasn't threatening.
Ooh,
I'd be giggling.
Yeah. So then, because then South Park took the piss out of it. So I don't think.
For you.
Yeah,
Like,
I'd only seen the South Park ripoffs, and I didn't realize how close they were. I thought they were just like just being South Park. It's like you know, and then I see like, oh, hello, Mr. UPS man. And I'm like, it's the voice.
Yeah, no,
that's the goddamn voice.
That Bane was
Shut up,
dumb.
Huss. You know what I'm talking about.
What's Huss say? See, I like Huss. He's our best viewer.
Okay, well,
Sorry, Simon. Sorry, Simon. You've been demoted. Hussein's our best viewer now.
But Simon's got the right answer. Good characters, ordinary movies, right?
So, no. Hussein has the right answer.
Look. Tim Burton Batman versus Nolan Batman. Tim Burton every day of the week. It's not even close. The Tim Burton movies were fantastic.
I thought I was old and senile. I thought my memories.
No, you're the Joel Schumacher Batman.
Oh, please. Was he the one with the nipples?
There was a nipples one.
Yeah,
Did you see that meme I put of Luke Skywalker? I'll send it to you. You'll laugh at it because I'll send it to you on email.
I see Star Wars memes all day because everyone on my Facebook feed's freaking obsessed with it.
Yeah,
it's a shit series, guys. Stop watching it. It's really dumb.
Again, you want to talk about a series that succeeds in spite of itself. That is Star Wars. Like, as much as I dislike DC and I think it succeeds in spite of itself because it has spikes of.
I will save Star Wars versus Star Trek versus Expanse versus Battlestar Galactica.
I mean, it's not even close. Star Wars is the worst of all of those.
It is a shit. It's been shit since Ewoks turned up.
The best things about Star Wars, the prequel memes subreddit, Mandalorian, Knights of the Old Republic, Jedi Knight 2, the books. The end. That's it.
A lot of things.
There's nothing. But that's it. So none of that is the mainstream movies. None of those are the core movies.
I don't see what I agree with Hussein now for.
Yeah,
he's probably talking to you. He called you a boomer.
Where's my burrito?
I was supposed to send Simon some. Yeah. Sorry, Simon.
I'll grab it out of the garage.
I've got to send someone who won the game with you thing too as well. Sorry, I totally forgot.
Yeah, I mean,
yes, I'll check something next year and I forgot.
We better wrap up because 1:10. But I will say that Joker movie was real good. Yeah, it was trying to be Taxi Driver, but it worked. It was fine.
Yeah, that was good.
Joaquin Phoenix can carry anything. Joaquin Phoenix can fucking act. There's no doubt.
I watched Gladiator the other night.
Oh yeah, but he was great in that. He was great in Signs.
He was good. He's good at creepy, unsettling. Yeah. He did that really well.
It's that upbringing because him and River went to like similar schools and stuff like that. Because they lived in like some weird cult when they grew up, right?
Did they? Oh.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they did. And so like he has that understanding of human nature from that weird kind of.
I mean, he does it so well.
Yeah,
I don't know why.
He's a great actor. Like he's just a fantastic actor.
I watched Gladiator.
Yeah,
and we're just crapping on now.
He's one of those actors that transcend, like, because he's so obviously got the cleft lip, right? And you just see it, but it transcends it. Everything that it does, you just don't even notice it. But then you realize, oh wait, no, it's Joaquin Phoenix because you can see that. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, let's end it because it is fucking.
So it's like Hawk in Cobra Kai.
Maybe. I watched Cobra Kai.
Oh yeah, Cobra Kai is a story about a bunch of really shit dads and really stupid sons.
Huss is excited because he gets to see more Jared Leto.
Nah, that's the worst one. All right, Huss.
But that's what
Simon, your best fan again. Huss just got demoted.
I will say the only thing that I would say about that is I'm actually interested to see what the Suicide Squad game is like because it's made by Rocksteady. And Rocksteady...
I'll play it. As long as it's not made by anybody that made a Deus Ex game in their past, I'll probably entertain it. Even though you bought me a copy, it's still in shrink wrap.
We never expected you to open it, don't worry. That was always a $30 meme that we were happy to lose out on. So, just watching your face when I gave it to you, Jamie was like, I want my reaction video.
Us and Simon are like game stonks right now.
To the moon, boys, to the moon.
Alright, where we
we've been undone. Well, we should wrap it, I think. Like, was there any other news you want to mention?
I said enough stuff in this to get Thanos again.
Yeah.
No, that's it. What's happening? Go to all those. Oh, wow. Is
We're
anything
back.
happening?
Facebook's back. We've been de-Thanos snapped.
Damn, that means News Corp's back as well. So there's
not necessarily. I mean, we can check it. Like.
They should just be obvious and just specifically get rid of Murdoch stuff.
Yeah. I said bring him back, but then completely turn the algorithm against him. Do you know what I mean? And then it's like, well, now you'll never get another... But again, that's what they want access to, because they know that's what they would do.
ABC Muse, you're looking up cats.
Yeah. There they are back. There you go. We've had our week of experimentation. Oh, no, gone. No
ABC still... Hey, we're up at ABC's night. Yeah. Yes.
So yes. Time to go full political.
All right, cool. Anyway, let's done. So we're go to New Game Plus.
We don't do politics otherwise. So.
Website. Well, we tried really good here, but I ruined it. Yeah. Anyway, NewGamePlus.tv on all one word on every social media network. NewGamePlus.tv is the website. Go check our stuff.
Sky News doesn't even let you search, Lamau.
Suck shit, Sky
Doesn't
News.
exist. Suck a dick.
Oh man, this is already better than last year.
Yeah,
Just on
yeah.
that.
Wins on that basis alone.
It's very entertaining. There's always something fun. If we're not grounded by Dictator Dan,
Your mate, yeah.
yeah, I'm off to Rebel News after this.
Yeah.
then we'll be back next week. Look out for us on the podcast on Spotify and that as usual. That's
And
it. Done.
see you then. Have a good one.